G'day there, I'm Reese. I own and run Sweat Test in Victoria. Thanks very much for your interest in getting a sweat test done. This 5-minute video is just going to walk you through the ins and outs of the sweat test and how it will benefit you. Specifically, I'm going to cover what we do during a sweat testing consultation, what the test itself actually involves, who can benefit from having a test done, and also just outline what you will have at the end of the test. So first of all, what do we actually do during a sweat testing consultation? The consultation itself takes around an hour, and calling it just a sweat test is actually selling it very short because we do a whole lot more than just the sweat test during that hour. Yes, the test is a major part of what we do, but around that, we also discuss your upcoming race plans, we troubleshoot any issues you've been experiencing, we discuss fueling strategies for both preparation and for performance. We build a fully personalized plan for your fueling and hydration needs. We look at some product options that can fulfill those needs. And I also give you the skills to be able to adapt your plan to any race conditions in the future. So what does the testing part of this process actually involve? The test itself is fully exercise free, which is surprising to a lot of people. It means that there's no slugging it out on the treadmill or on an exercise bike to sweat. I've got a small machine that makes a 20-cent piece size patch of skin on your arm produce sweat. I then collect that sweat and I run it through an analyzer, which gives me your sweat sodium concentration. Knowing your sweat sodium concentration is extremely important because from athlete to athlete, it can range anywhere from between 200 milligrams per litre up to 2,400 milligrams per litre. And unless you know how much you're losing, you are simply guessing with how much you need to be replacing. Thankfully, your sweat sodium concentration is genetically determined and it doesn't change under different conditions. So therefore, you're only ever going to have to do this test once. The other big piece of information I need to know from you to develop your fully personalized plan is actually your sweat rate. Now, sweat rate is determined by atmospheric conditions and also the intensity that you are exercising at. An obvious example of this is if you were to exercise on a 10-degree day versus a 35-degree day, you're obviously going to sweat very differently. For this reason, it's actually impossible to do a one-off test for sweat rate, and therefore I get you to take some measurements on yourself during training to determine what your sweat rate is under different conditions. Look, don't worry though, it's a pretty easy process, and for anyone that books in with me for a sweat test, I'll send through lots of information and also a spreadsheet that can help you document your readings, and it then produces some really pretty graphs for you to be able to call upon when you're planning for your upcoming events. Now, who can benefit from having a sweat test done? In short, any athlete can benefit from the information they'll get out of a sweat test. Knowing your sodium losses and how much to be replacing is an absolutely key element at performing at your absolute best. More specifically though, I largely work with athletes who are suffering from issues with cramping, with fade out later on in events, and also with gastrointestinal issues, which is often caused by overconsumption of fueling and hydration products. Now, what can you expect to walk away with after this test and after your consult? You will have a fully personalized hydration and fueling plan to help get on top of any issues you've been experiencing and also to help you perform at your best. You'll have a greater understanding of the importance of sodium and carbohydrate intake both before and during events. You'll have the skills to adapt your plan to any race conditions that you may face in the future. And look, because I know this is a lot to fit into just 1 hour, you'll have ongoing access to me to troubleshoot anything to do with your plan moving forward. Now, if what I've just been through sounds like what you're looking for, please click the link below and you can book yourself in for a test with me in the upcoming weeks. If none of the dates in my calendar suit you or you have any further questions, you can also submit an inquiry directly from my calendar and I'll do my absolute best to get back to you in the next few days. Well done on making it to the end of this video. I'm looking forward to helping you out with your hydration and fueling needs so that you can perform at your absolute best.